So you guys were handed out golden tickets, right?
Yep, it had nothing with it. Didn't even come with chocolate, bro. Yeah? They didn't even
Right.
hand it out to me, bro. They sent me a goddamn image. Even mail it to me, bro. But yeah, we got golden tickets.
Well, my initial thought was Willy Wonka, right? And the premise of the movie of Willy Wonka was he was looking for an heir to inherit the factory, right?
Oh shit! Okay, I like where this is going. I'm in line.
Come to us at the end of this,
Wait.
Aloha everybody from the YouTube channel. Welcome back to the podcast. As you can see, we're supposed to have this night podcast last week, but I had some internet issues, so we have it this week. Typically, we do one podcast a week, and we do a second one kind of like every other or sporadically throughout time. We also have a new member on the podcast today. We have Fit and Games. Yeah, Fit and Games, if you want to maybe introduce yourself a little bit, tell people, you know, how long you've been playing Summoners War, and maybe just a little bit about yourself. Go ahead.
Okay. Again, I'm Fit and Games. Started streaming 3 years ago. I think I'm at 1,301 days of Summoners War currently, and I'd like to think I'm the hair of Summoners War. You know,
Well, which hair?
IslandGrown for
There's
the
a lot
face,
of hair on the body,
I'm
my friend.
the best or the most artificial hair of Summoners War.
What the? Maybe tell people about your channel though, because it's like you and
Okay.
your wife, right?
Yeah.
You guys-
So initially, my wife and I started streaming as a couple, and we had a baby. We have a brand new 7-month baby girl, so she's a little busy with that, but we'd like to maintain our status as a couple stream, and we want to help out the early game and get things going.
That's awesome. Yeah, they have some pretty fun streams. It feels very homey. You know what I mean? It's like if you go to like a family dinner or like a family get together. That's what their stream kind of feels like, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We even bring you the family arguing in case you miss out on having your parents argue in front of you. We'll do it. We'll do it for you. We got your back.
Another interesting thing is, of course, they're also from Hawaii, so they do come to the meetups quite often. So I've seen them, I've known them for quite a long time as well. I think if I recall, you went to like one of like the conventions as well, right? And we met up there, which is kind of weird, even though it was in mainland.
Yes.
Did we? We did, right? Which one was that?
We met up at the LA meetup.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right, LA meetup. I remember now. Yeah. So yeah, super cool, super fun. So we got 3 people from Hawaii. Hawaii is definitely dominating this podcast here for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, there we got Fairy and Lucky. But welcome, guys. Welcome back to another podcast. Let's get right into the topics here. Kind of goes hand in hand with what we kind of already were discussing, kind of like introing. But this is a little bit about streaming. You know, I kind of want to throw some, some topics out there. I like to throw some random ones sometimes so we can kind of, warm things up a little bit. Topic number 1 is, when and why did you start streaming? And maybe some tips that maybe you have from your experience from streaming so far for other people that are getting into streaming, because I've noticed that there has been a lot more streamers, right? DJKJK is one of the longest streamers here as well. Definitely there are a lot more people streaming Summoners War nowadays, so maybe some people want to try it out. Maybe some some tips you guys can give for them, right? So about yourself and for other people. Go ahead. Maybe we can start with DJKJK as one of the longer streamers for Summoners War.
Okay. I started streaming basically because nobody else was streaming. Like Bomber would end and then nobody would be streaming, so I would stream just for everybody to like hang out.
OMG
And I
Bomber,
thought it
that's a nostalgic name.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun, so I just kept doing it. I think that's one of the biggest thing is to have fun with your stream, and it'll be a lot easier to like stream and keep going.
How about yourself, Ferry? What are your thoughts on streaming? When did you start? And maybe just give some information, some things about streaming you want to kind of bring up. We can discuss some stuff as well, for sure.
I guess I started streaming I didn't start streaming Summoners War, but I started back in 2014 with League. But the community was way too toxic, and I was like, all right. And then watching a bunch of other streamers on Summoners War, and I was like, it's a game that can be invested in. It seems really fun. There's a community that backs it up, right? Just have fun with it, honestly.
That's cool. How about yourself, Lucky? I actually don't know when you started streaming, Lucky.
I started probably around 3 years ago. It would have been just after Mobile Masters, essentially. Or might have been just before or around that time, essentially. So I started because I had a few friends in game who suggested streaming to give advice. So I used to do it a lot in game and through line chat and all that sort of jazz. And they said, why don't you try streaming? So I ended up doing that, like jumping onto streams and giving advice that way, and just kept going with it. To be honest, the Twitch community kept me going effectively. So that's the reason why I stayed on Twitch.
That's cool. Wait. How long ago did you start? Did you say?
Just over 3 years ago.
Okay.
Just over 3 years ago.
Yeah, because like I never knew that you streamed or about you until I actually met you. Actually, at one of the events, it was like maybe 2 years ago or so. It was the LA, one of the regionals.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been the LA.
A little bit before that was when you started.
2018.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about
A
a year and a half before that potentially. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's cool. That's cool. And how about yourself, Finn Games? I mean, you just discussed, you and your wife do streaming and whatnot. But when did you guys start? I actually don't remember.
We started about 3 years ago as well. Again, like Island said, it was a great way for me and my wife to spend time together. And I know Island loves to do that too. I mean, Island was a huge influence for me as a streamer. There's definitely some earlier people, Drew Bagel, Nick74W, Damone Kim. So, I mean, definitely a lot of those influences helped me to kind of understand that, hey, I kind of want to stream. I want to try it out. Some tips that I could give probably is be natural, be who you really are, do something unique, provide something to the community that maybe no one's ever seen before, and if not, then just be yourself. And most importantly, I think it's really good and it's done throughout the community is share the love. I know all of us here have hosted other Summoners War streamers. We've hosted other people, and I feel like that's where Summoners War is the best. We have one of the best communities. We're very caring. We're very positive. We all love to help each other out, and there's not like this major competition, And I always felt very welcomed by the entire streaming community and the Summoners War community in general.
Yeah, I'd like to say that we, as Summoners War, like this category, we have one of the best communities out there, right? Everybody's pretty close and tight-knit. I like to say it's through, like, all those Summoners War events Come To Us is done, the game itself, and, even, like, through these podcasts that we do, I always try to bring people together, right? Bring everybody together, because it really is really tight-knit, kind of cozy, to be honest. And it's great to see, people kind of support one another. I try to host and spread the host around to everybody as well in the community. Sometimes host some new streamers as well. Sometimes some names and stuff that I've seen, in other people's communities or even in my communities for so long. And, people started streaming for the first time just to try it out. It's always fun. Yeah. Get the mentality of going in and, trying something fun. A lot of times I think the worst mentality is people think from day one that they're going to start streaming and, hey, it's like, I'm just going to quit my day job. You know what I mean? Like this is it, right? That's my focus, right?
Definitely.
Nah, like you come in having fun, I think is going to be the best mentality, all right? Whatever happens, happens. But have fun with it for sure. And you got a great chance, especially with Summoners War being a little bit, smaller of a category, right? Fairy said he streamed League of Legends, right? That's a huge category. You start streaming, dude, you're on like, bro, I'll be scrolling for like 5 years to see you on the bottom. Right? Yeah. Summoners War, there's more streamers now, but even when you scroll, there's not, there's chances that a lot of discovery available. So definitely.
Yeah, it's probably one of the more wholesome communities you'll see out on Twitch, definitely. And as you guys mentioned, there's a lot of love being shared. Like I've seen DJ stream for a very long time, share some love to me as well as my channel was growing. And same with you, Brian. Like as your channel was growing, I was watching you and learning a lot from both of you guys throughout the time as well. So I took a lot from you guys and tried to build my own community that way. And that's the way it is. Like there's so many names now coming up in Twitch, which, as you said, there's a lot of names that have been around our communities that are trying their first stream, trying their own stream and branching out. And it's really good to see that community grow and more people wanting to stream Summoners War. It's a growing community. It's a very supportive one as well.
Definitely. Anybody else? Anything you want to add? DJ, you want to add anything? No? DJ has a lot of fun on his stream. Yeah, he just chills. Chill stream.
I think it's really easy to be like unique because everybody's box is pretty unique. So like it's easy to like showcase things that other people can't.
That's
you
true.
Know what I mean?
That's true. Sometimes you're actually right. Sometimes maybe people think they can't stream because they're not like C3 or they're not G1 or they don't have like, premium quality gameplay. But hey, you gotta realize, man, the majority of the population is a certain rank. Not everybody's Guardian, right? It's only a certain percentage. So sometimes people like to relate, they like to look at, if you're a really smart player and you use certain units, it's like, wow, that composition, I can do that because I don't have these premium units, so this is great. These are good options. That's true. Definitely true. But you are kind of OP though, so you can't really say that. Oh man. All right, cool. So we'll do some more of these discussions in the future about streaming and these random topics. I think they're good, like icebreakers, just to get everybody close together in the podcast and kind of warmed up. So that was a good one. We're gonna get into topic number 2 now, the serious stuff people want to hear about, which is massive update. All right, so massive update. There is supposed to be some kind of the shift. Stream that Comtois is going to be doing, right? We don't know what it is. They haven't given us more details. They give us the date, the time, and that's it. So we're curious to hear what it is. We all assume it's supposed to be the massive update. I want to reiterate massive because they said massive. I'm expecting something massive, man. Okay, something massive here. What do you guys think it is? And maybe what do you want added to the game, right? If you could choose, because massive could be anything. PvE, PvP, whatever it is. Yeah. Anybody, go ahead.
Oh, I got a list in the house. I
Okay.
prepped.
Okay,
a list.
came prepared. All right.
I definitely think. I don't think it's coming, but this is something I would really like to see. It's not something I created. It's definitely
That's fine.
something that has been talked about in the community many times. I think even DJ KJK mentioned it a bunch of times. But
Sure.
is Toa Hell potentially?
Okay.
It's a Toa Hell mode. In this said Toa Hell mode, I was thinking that it is a non-autoable, so you can't press play. You have to play it out.
Okay.
I think it should include 2A monsters, and it should include monsters that are roomed up. Potentially, even on Violet. Yeah, like Violet.
Ooh, Okay.
So a Toa mode with not only better monsters, but RNG in play. It's almost like it would be the RTA of Toa. You would definitely have to play it out in order to win. But then they would obviously be less levels, but much higher rewards.
So maybe there's like TOA normal 100, TOA hard 100, and then like maybe TOA hell's like X amount of stages, like not 100 stages,
Right.
I don't think, right? Maybe like 10,
No,
20
definitely
stages,
not.
something like that.
Yeah.
And it's only once per month, right? So
Right.
it wouldn't be that much more of a chore because people are worried about new PvE content that becomes a new chore, right? Like you have to farm GB10. Now you have a new dungeon. You just have to keep farming that dungeon, right? So okay, not bad. Maybe it's only 5 stages, right? They have to balance it out how difficult it is, right? Okay.
That'd be some incredibly hard 5 stages, I'll tell you that.
I mean, the idea of 2As in it makes sense, right? That would be that next level hard because those units are tougher to deal with. True. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Lucky?
I was gonna say, imagine Antares and Violent Runes
Oh
in
no.
TOA Hell.
Oh no.
Just takes a turn whenever he wants. I was just thinking, like, when you face TOA hard and Antares is at stage 92 or whatever it is, or 91. I can't remember which one it is, but imagine him on Violent Runes up there when it's Hell. It's like, here we go.
Or the 4 Miho, but they're all 2A.
Oh no.
Oh
dude.
no.
Oh no, dude. I mean, technically, if it's in that kind of situation and it's not like insane PvP runes, you can probably bomb them and stuff, right? So
And
wouldn't
then
be
they
too
have
bad.
real runes too.
Oh no,
Oh yeah, and they could have real
Runes.
that'd be crazy. I like that idea. Anyone else had some ideas of what you guys think this massive update is going to be, or what you want added? Because this is like a massive update discussion and kind of like a suggestions, discussion as well for what we want to see from Comtois.
I think oh, sorry, go for it, DJ. You first.
Oh, go ahead,
I'll
DJ.
go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was hoping for like some revamp to stuff, like maybe rewards. Like we've talked about making rewards better. Revamp like old monsters, so that their stats are like better balanced and they're like more useful. Maybe like revamp the shop. They just used the Temple of Wishes skin. So I could see them adding like other kind of skin and cosmetic stuff to shops. But yeah, I don't really know what they have in, but that's kind of what I want.
Okay. What when you said like revamp monsters, like did you have any examples? Like those first two that you
Well,
did you
like-
have specific examples?
Like maybe adding like grinds to the shop, the regular magic shop,
Oh.
and get rid of like 3-star runes.
I'd be okay with that.
Or
You
like
know,
revamp.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally random, like everything in the shop.
Hmm.
But I think grinds would be cool. like old monster stats, like the dragons, the ones that don't awaken into speed, are really bad because they have like super high either attack or defense or something, and they're really low speed, so they're really hard to use. And if they like redistributed their stats, I think they would be really like seen more. Like I don't think you have to buff their skills. I think their skills, like a lot of the monsters' skills are fine. It's just their base stats are not fine.
That's true.
For
Some of the best
really
units
old
have a more like overall solid, base, set.
Yeah, they're pretty
Yeah.
even distribution.
Yeah, those are the stronger
Yeah.
units, right? Like paladins, right? They're very like solid, right? In
Yeah,
terms of overall
paladins,
stats.
Valkyries,
Mhm.
stuff like that.
True. Okay. What were you gonna say, Lucky?
I'm gonna say I'd like them to kind of address the ability for people to break from PvE into PvP content, because it's easier to complete all PvE content right now, but it's hard to make the shift across from PvE to PvP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that it?
You know, like so a lot of
Oh.
people like get through everything really quickly now when it comes to PvE content. Like TOA hard is even pretty easy for a lot of people to do, just because a lot of units make it easier to complete. What I'd like to see is something that helps address people to break into that PvP side. Guild War content, RTA, like you can complete everything PvE wise, but be stuck in fighter rank RTA just because you're so far behind. And I feel like that's the biggest issue. So if they closed that gap a bit more, you'd see a lot more people come up through the ranks. And that'd be something that I want them to kind of address, because there is a big wall right now for people to try cross through, and that's a gated wall due to time or spending. And I want to see if they can do something to close that up.
That's true. That's a fair point. Yeah. What could they do though? Right. But that's true, because a lot of players that get into the game and it's all PvE. Your world for quite a long time is a lot of PvE world. You know, you're trying to increase your units, your monsters, trying to clear dungeons, trying to do it faster. Maybe dabbling into guild wars because you're in a guild or whatnot, but it's that crossing to like more competitive guild wars and siege and RTA. That stuff is way later, and the jump is quite big actually. It's true.
Yeah, so like one of the biggest things I think is the amount of opportunities we get. And by opportunities, I mean like the amount of runes we get to keep from dungeon farming, the amount of like the attempts of rolling those runes. Something I've spoken about on podcasts before has been like the ability of having a new currency in the game introduced to create these specific sort of re-ups. So I don't know if you remember that conversation before, but it was like farm giants for an X amount of runs, craft a re-up that relates to giants. So you might get 300 of these green shards for farming giants, and then you create a re-up, you craft it, and it gives you a random rune type re-up. So you might use 300 things, craft it, and gives you like an energy re-up. Because how many of us may have like these legend runes with the nates that are energy or blade or guard or despair even? You craft that re-up, and then it allows you to re-roll those runes, and it doesn't have to. And then you can kind of treat it like the current re-ups that we get. You can try to treat them like the immemorial form of re-ups. You can use it across the board, but it'd be good to get some sort of other re-up potentials to kind of re-roll other runes that we just got sitting around for a while, just to make those more useful. Like giving us more opportunities to re-roll runes to make them more usable. I think it'll help our early gamers to get more rune sets and be able to push up the ranks as well. It makes everyone stronger, but in the early game, it gives them, I think, overall a better chance to keep more runes. So first of all, Giants probably needs to drop like purple 6-star runes more often than they do right now. There's too many blue 5-stars, so I don't even know why we still have blue 5-stars in Giants, for example, or even Dragons or any of the B10s. I think those need to go. But then, yeah, introducing more opportunities for us to roll runes and these sort of re-ups as well. That's my main two things I would like to see.
That's actually true. What do you think about that, Ferry? Like, because what do you think about them making these re-ups for specific runes that we typically just either roll and sell or roll and never keep? We never keep legend, slot 2 speed, accuracy, innate energy runes. You know what I mean?
I do.
You keep those?
Oh,
To
most
what?
of the time.
I do. I have lots of them.
Just to hold it? Like you just holding it, right?
Yeah,
Or
I
what?
just hoard them.
Because you
Just in
think
case.
there's something that's gonna happen in
I
the
don't know.
future?
One day something might
Wow.
happen, and then yeah. So I just have them on like all random monsters in storage.
Wow, that's actually 5 hit. What's your thoughts on that, Ferry? Though, curious.
I think, well, okay. something that was brought to light was the scenario isn't completed, quote unquote. There's still like storyline and lore that could be added. What if we take like Lucky's idea and be like a second scenario, or like another scenario that opens up after you finish the first one, and it gives like these specific reapps rewards for like the energy, these guard runes, you know.
Yeah, honestly, that might not be a bad idea considering, a lot of players right now, what are they doing scenarios for? To get through the achievements, the missions, and then after that, they're just farming it for EXP. So maybe more scenarios that have maybe more EXP that has those resources that potentially, right? Where people can level units. Because let's be real, at this day and age, is it that impactful anymore to like farm scenarios? Right? To a certain extent, only the early game players, right, are farming for EXP. Later on, late game, you get the resources and level 6 stars really quickly. Like I've never had a problem making a 6 star like instantly nowadays. Like just you're instantly 6 star, So yeah, that would be interesting. I really like the idea of reapps for specific runes though, because yeah, I have all those garbage runes. I mean, I feel bad now that I sold them, but like crit damage with 6 crit rate innate slot 4 guard, like I'd like to re-app that, but I'm never throwing a regular re-app ever, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be a cool thing for them to like add as like random rewards to maybe like siege box or world boss or something. If they don't want to give like the actual re-app, like I think that would be a cool idea to not quite give a re-app to everybody.
Right. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I mean, or they just have to maybe make if they don't want to make a specific one for each one. It's too complicated. They would just make a new re-app that's just specifically for non-violent. They have to do it right, like violent, will, and swift. Like non-violent, will, swift. Right.
My idea behind it was the way you would distribute that would be giving it as a fixed reward for doing a dungeon run. So like you collect shards. So I called it shards, for example, but you collect like maybe 1 to 3 drop rate of shards by doing a giants run, like scaling based on the stage that you're doing for giants. And you collect maybe like I'm just gonna throw a random number out there. You collect like 300 of these shards and you craft one. So I was thinking something along those lines. So then it's kind of like a fixed mechanism. It doesn't make you farm another area of the game to address the runes in that area. And kind of showing, I think they need to update the way rewards are dropped in dungeons and make them more like the Rift Beasts and have multiple drops. That's what I was kind of trying to, in my head, that's like what I kind of envisioned seeing, like maybe 3 or 4 items dropping along those lines. Like maybe you're always guaranteed some form of rune crafting pieces, or like so the rune crafting pieces or the essences that drop to craft those runes. Then you get these fixed shards. Then you get like mana plus a rune, unknown, mystical, whatever the other item that you usually get is. So something along the lines is what I see in my head. That's what I would like to see. And I don't think it breaks the game. I think it kind of allows people to catch up just purely by playing the game as well, and not simply just by swiping.
Right. I like that.
That's essentially what it is right now. Yeah.
I like that. I mean, honestly, they're probably gonna make it swipeable. Let's be realistic, right? They probably would make if let's say they make this new re-app. I think they would make it swipeable. But let's say they do, right? Let's speak like they are gonna make like a new re-app. Do you think it would be bad for the game? I feel like the endgame players really wouldn't buy that, right? Like most players wouldn't really buy that anyways.
Yeah, they're chasing the premiums anyway.
Right. So it's useless, right? Who buys an energy re-app? Really, right?
I mean, you can almost argue who buys like rune crafting pieces, but I know people that buy rune crafting pieces, right? They might buy specific. They might buy all the dragons like crafting materials and be able to craft the the dragons related drops,
Right. Give me 1 second here. All right, they actually want to join. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna add the faint memory in, and let's see if they want to join. Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes.
Rogue session.
But yeah, continue on. Oh, were you gonna say something, Ferry?
Hello.
Holy moly. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes.
Lama, thank you for gifting 14 subs. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't know if this will be good, but we'll bring you guys in for a little bit here for the podcast. What up?
Can you see us or no?
No, can't see you. You have to turn off your other camera. So if you're streaming, your stream camera can't be on, unfortunately. So if you guys don't know, this is Fate Mem, J-Mac, they're all kind of together, and they're doing some summons, having some drinks and doing some summons, and they asked to join the podcast as well. I told them, okay, we'll see how it goes. I thought it might have been too boring for you guys, to be honest.
My phone, his phone doesn't work.
What's up?
Can you add my phone?
What'd you say?
Can you invite my Discord?
Oh, your Discord? Okay, yeah. I'll add your Discord.
Okay, bye.
Okay, let's see here. We'll give him a shot. I mean, I'm not in a rush, so I mean, yeah. Let me see. He wants me to add him to here. Okay, there we go. Let's see if it works. Might be his phone instead. Hello.
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 Hello, what's up, guys?
All right. Oh, so this is your phone then? I see.
Hello.
Hello, we got surprise guest J. We have actually a lot of people here. This is gonna be this is technically the biggest podcast we've ever had. We got J-Mac, Riona, we got everybody there. Huh? It's everybody there. Yeah, Fate Mem as well. You guys are muted though, by the way.
Oh, sorry about that. Josh is just having fun.
Yeah. All right, we'll give you a topic here if you want to give us your opinions. What do you want from this massive update? You can make anything happen, right? What do you want to see? What do you want added? What do you want added?
Honestly, after tonight, what I really want is storage space for summons.
How many summons did you guys do?
1,500 plus MS, 26 legendary, and I think 60 something.
1,500 MS? What the?
Yeah, today was.
Oh, it's not capturing your mic. It's not capturing your
You
mic.
did 100,000 crystal refreshes, actually.
Yes, we did.
Wait, 100,000 refresh? Wait, you didn't do that on stream, did you?
No, it's throughout the last 10 days.
Okay, I was like 100,000 crystal refreshes, man. How long are you streaming, man? 24-hour stream? Jesus.
Oh, I don't even think 24 hours is long enough.
That's like because
amount.
what is that? Three per refresh? Look at like 33,000 clicks on the shop. That's crazy. It's actually nuts.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. We had a lot of fun, and we drank a shot for every nat 5.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a shot for every nat 5, so that was pretty fun. But we're sobering up now. But
You're sobering up now. Yeah, there were some people that said you want to join the podcast. I was like, dude, I feel you guys are gonna fall asleep if you guys join the podcast.
Okay. I'll take a shot for you guys though. Pass the bottle.
Straight out of the bottle.
All right, he's gonna take a shot for the podcast. Let's go. This is
Straight
content.
out of the
I'm not
bottle.
gonna take out of the bottle due to COVID reasons, and we're sharing the bottle.
Oh, okay.
Bro, you got all drunk at one place. What do you mean because of COVID reasons, bro? Let's be real. I mean, you guys are all friends. You guys kind of like live together.
If it's big enough.
Okay.
Alcohol kills COVID anyway.
Yeah. Guys, if you're watching this, drink responsibly.
Yes, don't drive.
Don't drive. Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly, guys. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Seriously.
Oh my god.
Wear your mask, okay, guys? Cheers, okay?
Cheers.
Cheers. It's water. Yep. Confirm. Yep. Definitely. How is Canada right now for the whole COVID situation? Huh?
This is way more than a shot.
I mean, let's be real. Anything you guys are drinking tonight, I've hung out with you guys. You guys can drink like 5 times what you guys are drinking tonight. That was a big.
Oh, that one looked rough.
That's for the podcast or the podcast. First time everyone's taking a shot for the podcast. PogChamp.
So check out our setup. So we actually rented a house this weekend. I had to bring my desktop to stream here.
What the heck?
We tried to stream on my laptop. It didn't work. So we are streaming on this.
Cool setup. Looks like everybody's having fun. Dude, you always make me jealous with all the food that you guys eat. Honestly.
Wait till tomorrow. We bought. If anyone knows what's a lechon,
What's that?
we bought a full lechon. So it's a roasted pig, Filipino style.
Oh.
You bought the whole pig?
Yeah, we got a whole pig. It's delivering at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
You bought the whole. I better see some pictures on your Instagram, bro. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just show you guys what we have for this weekend. Okay, might as well.
Oh my god. Here we go.
All steaks and okay, I gotta show you this.
Dude, I'm freaking hungry. What is that?
Tomahawk.
It's a tomahawk steak.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
All All right, let me just quickly change this right here. Give me 1 second.
But yeah, I mainly just wanted to say hi. We're having fun. Hope you guys are having fun too.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing pretty good. We just been talking about streaming and talking about some of the new content that we'd like to see from the game, mostly. We're all jealous that we can't have a house party with you, but I heard Canada's doing pretty good.
Really good content? Want to see really good content?
What? Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh
Oh
no!
no.
Oh no!
Hey, you want to get banned?
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Oh my god!
Jokes aside, but yeah, anyone wondering as well though, all of us have been inside quarantine for a while. We decided to rent a house because we were all relatively safe. We did our precautions and we basically rented a house for the weekend just to watch Tomorrowland. It's a live stream of the Tomorrowland rave.
Oh,
That's the reason why we have a house.
no wonder.
Man.
I see. That makes a lot more sense now.
So yeah, that's why we rented a place. Just it's been a while. Our friends just kind of want to get together and have some fun. And we actually have a limit of 9 people in this house because that is the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, just don't do no what is that Logan Paul what is it crazy house party that he's been doing or whatnot.
But I want to say for everybody in the world right now, if you go out, wear your mask, be safe, be smart as well. Hope to see you guys soon at next Summer's War event.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you stopping in, bro. All right,
See you,
they're
bud.
gonna say bye. All right,
See you, Jeff.
peace out. Look at him. Look at fucking Josh. He's so done. All right, see you later, man. Anyways, yeah. Brief intermission. All right, when you watch a podcast, you never know what you're gonna see. They're having a good time. They're doing a stream over there. I heard Canada's not having as big of an issue with the whole COVID stuff, and they've like banned all of us from like traveling to them or whatnot. Like we couldn't even go to Canada.
All of the U.S.
Yeah, like no, they're not like anybody from the U.S. go anywhere, yeah, or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, back to the topic on the update here on what you guys want to see. Wait, why is the button showing up? That's kind of weird. There we go.
I do kind of agree with what J-Mac said. I do think it'd be cool to have a little bit more monster storage, but not just just way of life things. Why not increase the monster storage? Why not increase the runes, the grinds? And I know this is big for Toa, but I'd like to see stacked debuffs. Like when you have continuous damage and you have like 7 continuous damage when you have an Asima like me, it's really hard. It's hard to see what's going on. I just want to see all my continuous damage stacked instead of seeing 5 continuous damage and debuffs on there. I think it's just for ease of play.
Right. That's true. Sure, yeah.
Not just because I haven't seen it.
Like something that some people have been talking about more is like come to us as server space, right? In this day and age, I feel like technology has evolved. They need to be able to do something to handle more space, right? The excuse is not gonna, I feel, fly anymore that, hey, we don't have enough server capacity or space, right? It's an excuse they gave us a long time ago, like several years ago, right? So be it, right? It makes sense. But nowadays, you guys can't make that excuse. You guys have to get more space, give us more storage, right? Even though it's a hard balance because I think as players, we're gonna always want more storage space and always want space. If we had it our way, there would be players out there with 10,000 runes, on their account, 10,000 monsters in their account, honestly, right? But I mean, having a little bit more storage space, I mean, maybe to 1,000, right, is a good starting jump. And rune space, especially grind space with the new ancient runes coming in with ancient grinds, would be awesome. So space is an issue, and we would like to get more of it for our resources when we're playing the game, right? And in turn, right, they have the argument of not having enough storage space. I mean, people are going to spend more money, I'm pretty sure, right, to do summons, right? The whales want to summon more. I'm sure a lot of them don't summon because they don't got space. They're too lazy, right, to manage only 50 space to summon. So, yeah. Okay. Any other suggestions or things you wanted to see? We haven't asked you yet, Ferry. Is there anything in particular that you wanted to see or you wanted changed, right, in this massive update or in general?
I don't know if this is gonna happen, but they had like, what is it, an update notice not too long ago about you have to have certain like phone requirements for like certain like I guess like, what is it, aesthetics. What if they made a whole like UI change to the whole game?
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying, I mean, Summoner's Result, right? So art and a lot of the things in Summoner's Resort is kind of old as well. But that's a big revamp, right? I mean, I'm down for it. But the thing is, we don't know the cost. We don't know the time and resources that would be involved, right? It's not my expertise, but I would agree. I would like something like that, right? UI changes. They tried to make some changes in the past, right? Monster icons. Some of the monsters kind of actually do look different from how they were before too, and newer monsters have a different style. But the game in general hasn't really changed its art style, right? But then again, do you really look at your dungeon runs 24/7? Right? Some people say new boss, like looks, but I don't know if I really look at my Giants run, to be honest.
Not really.
Something interesting might be like maybe new soundtracks. You know what I mean? New sound and whatnot. I think people do. Yeah, if they had better sound in the game, people might be interested in that. I don't know.
Who plays with sound?
I know, right?
Summoners all has sound.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's really loud.
What?
I turned on my sound and I forgot that I'm still air servered, so it's really, really loud. But yeah, they do have sound. Yeah. Any other suggestions that you guys have for the game or what you think it's going to be?
There was a suggestion that came up on stream, and now that I think more about the shift as a generalized idea, have you ever looked in lab? There's a bottom and then there's a top of lab, and there's like artwork at the top of lab and there's artwork at the bottom of lab. And as I think about what the person was talking about, and I think about the word the shift, the goal of a labyrinth is to cross something and to defeat the boss, right? What if the shift meant after defeating that said boss, it opened up something new, and the shift was a change or a revamp to everything that we know of Summoner's War? So maybe they change around Kairos. Maybe, it's an upside down labyrinth or something. It could be anything, right? The labyrinth in any movie has always been, it's not the end game. It's the gate before the end game, So maybe something along those lines.
That'd be kind of cool. I like the idea. Yeah. I mean, the title of it is The Shift and massive updates. So all these things we're saying, I mean, as much as we joke around and, say, oh, it might happen or that's too much, you never know, right? Massive update could be the entire UI change of the whole game, right? We don't know. The shift could be, something completely different. One of the things that we speculated on stream together was that they kind of started doing the lore, right? It's kind of weird. Summoners came out with the game and then they're doing the lore after, right? But they started the lore and whatnot. And when I got to ask them questions, like the actual developers of like the story and stuff, they were telling me something along the lines of, Summoners War right now, we're in like one of the hemispheres, right? Like a planet. Obviously it's a planet, right? We're on one of the hemispheres. There are other hemispheres that we don't know about of the planet. So could be something they expand to, right? Which have other things in it, right? So that's what I was thinking as well, that it would expand us or shift us, to maybe other regions. So it's possible, right? Very, very possible. Another thing people speculated was new dungeons, right? Instead of a B10, right? This goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. Maybe that new dungeon we can farm the pieces or shards, right? For these new rehabs, or maybe a new dungeon that doesn't have 5-star blue runes, right? Maybe only 6-star blue runes and above, right? It would be the B11s. We've seen these in other games as well, so it could be feasible here to have a B11, right? Possible. What do you guys think about that?
Nice.
Would that be something that would be nice? It makes B10 semi-obsolete, right? Maybe early mid game would do B10s, but then B11 is like your end game for those dungeons where you got to revamp again. I don't know, because how difficult
it would make them obsolete though.
Yeah, it would. True. Because
I don't think they would want to do that. I don't think they want to take away from content that they've already created.
I don't think it would matter, to be honest. B11 or whatever it is just becomes the new B10 at the end of the day, right? Like everyone will strive to get to B11. So you either update B10 to better drops, which they have done in the past, or you create this new one and just make it which would be great, right? Because it'd be something new they would have to face. It'd be a new element if they follow the trend of how they do it right now. It'd be a whole new element for each area, and it'd be a totally different approach. Right, everything would change completely when you're fighting. Let's say the Giants boss. I don't know what the order is, but let's say that changed to wind. It would change your approach, right? Because you won't be able to. Your water twins, if you're using water twins, they won't be as good anymore. So it completely changes everything up. Your approach would completely have to be rebuilt.
I mean, as much as we want to say it's difficult, we're gonna find a team that's gonna be sub 1 minute for like whatever it is, right? We just have to figure it out. Like, let's be real. Like, we're gonna figure it out. The community will figure it out for sure. So. Yeah, but do we want that? Do we want another gated content to our in-game players to farm? and mid game plays farm. I don't know. I've kind of been stuck on that, you know, like because they could actually make it where B10 is not obsolete, right? They could make it so that B11 is your mid and late game content to work towards, right? Because all they have to do is make it so that the requirement or like the bosses that you're fighting require a certain strategy. And let's say if the certain strategy is like giants, right? Like let's say Necro, right? It kind of goes in progression, right? Necro, the strategy to get into Necro is, you know, dragons, because you need the violet runes to have extra turns to kind of help you out in there, right? So if they incorporated Necro strategies into, you know, your B11 giants, you can't do it off the bat. So B10s are still the, you know, the track that players have to take to get there. But is that what we want? Is something not to think about, right? You see where I'm kind of going with that?
Right.
Right.
But then they made twins, so violent wasn't needed anymore.
True. That's very true. Okay. Anything else that you want to include that you want to see? Now's your time. I feel like CompToUs does like watch these podcasts and listen to them when they're thinking of ideas. So it's always good to throw it out, even if you don't think it's feasible. Just throw it out, right? Any ideas?
I know you said like rune drops are like a hard cap, but I think it's the grinds. I think getting like solid grinds on all your good runes is a lot harder.
That's true. That's really true. The people do underestimate the amount of stats that you get and progression you get from doing raids and improving
And like
the
how
runes
much time it takes to like grind everything out.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Yeah. Do you guys remember back in the day when you're farming and you're doing like regular raids and you get accuracy, determination, and fight grinds and gems? Oh my god. Garbage, dude.
That's all you got.
Garbage, dude. You'll never get violent. You'll never even get energy or even will or any of those. It's crazy.
So I wouldn't mind like I said, like adding grinds to the shop would be a good way to like increase the amount you get, or even like making like some of the higher ones, like the legend one, can go from 5 to 10. I don't understand why the green grind can roll higher than the legendary grind.
What do you mean? Explain.
Like the green can go from, what is it, like 2 to 6 or something, and the legend can go from 5 to 10. So you can roll 5 on your legend and then 6 on your green one, and the green one is better. Like I don't like that.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty shitty.
The numbers don't make sense. Yeah, that's true, because we sit here grinding out these runes and getting the grinds and gems, and like the grind for like defense, HP, attack is 5 to 10. It's such a huge gap, right? It is actually a really big gap. So what should they do? 6 to 10? 6 to 10 would make it, I guess, a little bit better, but or what do you think?
I think they can leave it. I just want you to not be able to roll lower than you already have. So if I have a 7 and I use an orange, it's 7 to 10.
Oh, hey, I like that. Huh? Is that too much though? That feels really smart. That feels really good, right?
Then at the very least, I don't feel bad that I rolled lower than what I already have. It's the same, you know.
But that would be scary because all the endgame players would have max everything. Because now, like, you roll a 9, you just got to throw one more, and you're going 9 to 10, right? And you could probably get it, right?
It's still 50-50, right?
True.
Yeah, it's still 50-50. There's a good chance you roll 9 again.
But like right now, if you have a 9, you're never going to touch it again, right?
True.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean,
I think that would be.
And it still takes you a ridiculous long time to get enough of those, to be honest. So like, yeah.
Getting around to do it, like maxing out the 9s, is going to take forever. So I don't think that's too big of a deal.
I like that. I like that idea, right? So 5 to 10, right? And technically, I think from what we know, it's 1 in 5 chance to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, there's 6, so 1 in 6. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? 1 in 6 to be any of those. And whatever you hit, luckily, your next one can only be that low as a low one and whatever else. So if you hit 7, then you're going to go 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 1 in 4, right? That's true. I like that. That's always a good one. You always have good ideas for grinds and gems. You're like a grind and gem guy, dude. Yeah, and then maybe
Uses the most.
True, and then maybe that honesty idea would help alleviate grind and storage space. Though we need more grind and storage space, I will say that, but it would help because people would use a lot more of their grinds and gems, right? So holding on to it, true. Yeah, very very true. Definitely.
Speed already kind of works like that anyway.
What do you mean?
It's got some more gaps.
Your purple speed is 3 and 4, right? And then the legend is 4 or 5. Like it's already basically how it's working.
Yeah, and sometimes you put a lot of 3, you put a lot of purples until you get that 4. So, That's
You
true.
put a lot of oranges to get that 5 too.
True. No, that's what I'm saying. If it takes a
true.
lot to get like 3 and 4 and hit that 4,
Yeah.
then when you're at 9 to 10, it could still take you a long time to get that 1%. So I like that idea a lot. I don't. They would probably have to run the numbers and extrapolate the probabilities on, they do that, right? Average accounts and average amount of hits and whatnot to extrapolate that data. But I think that's something they should look into. I definitely like that idea a lot for the grinds and gems. It would help a lot of players. Help a lot of players to catch up too, right? Endgame players, this is what I think. Endgame players only have so much more they can hit, right? Let's pretend this is the max all your units and monsters could be, right? The higher they get, the longer it takes for them to get any sort of upgrade, right? So these kinds of ideas will really actually bring that middle gap and early gap a lot closer to the end gap quicker, So I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Okay, any other ideas? That's a good one. Coming up with some good ones, guys. You had a list, Fin Games. You had anything else you want to bring up?
I joked about it. I don't
Sure.
actually think this is something they'll do, but I think this could go great into the video that they're coming out with tomorrow for the shift. So you guys were handed out golden tickets, right?
Yep, it had nothing with it. Didn't even come with chocolate, bro. Yeah? They didn't even
Right.
hand it out to me, bro. They sent me a goddamn image. Even mail it to me, bro. But yeah, we got golden tickets.
Well, my initial thought was Willy Wonka, right? And the premise of the movie of Willy Wonka was he was looking for an heir to inherit the factory,
Oh,
right?
shit. Okay, huh? Oh, I like where this is going. I'm alive.
Come to us at the end of this,
Wait,
huh?
wait. That's not quite the theory I was going with, right? So you have that play. Now, if you look at the video that they sent out, they said there's a 6th element, right? And that 6th element is you, right? So that is us as the viewers, the players, the streamers. So my theory is that they're going to make a tie-in with that and Willy Wonka, and when they release this shift video, they're going to say, hey guys, we're not giving you the company, but we will give you control of more decision-making things, and we'd like to involve you more in the process. Because I do think they are taking things out of this podcast, and they do listen, but it would be a great time to say, hey, guys, we haven't been listening to the community, and we're ready. We're ready. That's the shift. We're making the shift that we're going to listen to the community. We're going to bring a lot of these great ideas to life, i.e. giving control of the company to the 6th element, the player base.
Yeah, it's interesting. I see how you're tying the thoughts together. That'd be a good PR thing. Yeah, that still
Right.
doesn't answer
Just
what's
a
actually
PR.
getting released. I actually want to know what's released. You know what I mean? What the big shift and massive update is. But that'd be nice. I think if they come out saying stuff like that, that'd be awesome. Actually, that'd be really
Right.
awesome. Yeah.
I mean, it would sound good. Regardless, it would sound good, even if they didn't, fully listen to the community.
They should hire you as their PR.
Yeah, exactly. I told Gigi I'm ready. I'm ready whenever they're looking.
Oh, my
TP,
God.
teacher for hire, come to.
All right. Yeah. Any other suggestions? I mean, we're milking it here. We're milking some really good ones. Yeah, this is why I love bringing in like a variety of people to the podcast to talk about a bunch of different things, because you never know. Like even your ideas don't, like, people here, feel like they can say suggestions and things that they want to hear, see in the game, and you never know, it might happen, right? These ideas, they'll piece it together and something may happen.
I know
Out of
white.
curiosity. Oh,
Oh,
Go ahead,
go ahead, Ferry.
this is 100% giving the community what they want, but what if like the shift is a plethora of options, 6 options that the community votes for to game change or break the game?
That'd be good.
That'd be good. But the thing that they have to that would happen though with that idea, I would like that to happen. But if they gave us 6 options of what we wanted and we were to vote on what was to happen, right, in the game, that means that they were willing to do all 6 of those. So that means that I would want to see all 6 of those happen. True? True? Right? Right?
Yeah.
Just remember once upon a time, the community got to pick a HOH and they picked Light Ninja over Luna.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Absolute
Control of the
garbage, dude.
community
God I
making
wasn't playing yet.
decisions.
Yeah, we have to be kind of careful, you know what I mean? So I give Contios credit for being careful with, picking and choosing what, the community says and suggests, right? Because there are things that I know that they know that we don't, right? They know their company, they know their marketing and whatnot. We can say that we know a lot about the game, right? I would say that a lot of us have a lot more knowledge of the actual game, what happens and the mechanics and everything inside than a lot of them that work at ComToUs. But they know a lot of that about their marketing, their back end of the game and whatnot better than us. So, it's working together and being able to figure out what's best for the game is always what we want to do. So hopefully that can happen. So on that note, let's go on to topic number 3 here, which is, just ironically something that has been, asked time and time again, something that we've talked about way in the past, but haven't talked in a while, had it pop up in, the streams lately. So I thought I'd bring it up here. What is your opinion on auto farming, right? There's so many games nowadays. They have auto farming. It's a trend. People say there are very successful games like Epic 7, Raid Shadow Legends. They have a lot of auto farming, right? What's the pros and cons? Let's break it down for people. And what do you personally think, right? If you want it, you like it, or you dislike it. What's your thoughts? I saw you shake your head, DJ. So go ahead.
I
and
think
start.
it depends how they like implement it. But if it's just like the way it is right now, and I can just keep going, like I can't afford $100+ a day to run it all day long. So that's like a pay to win boost, right?
So you're saying it
You would
separates
run
it?
out of money.
Yeah, you're saying it makes a bigger gap between the pay to wins and the free to plays then, in essence.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But it depends how they do it, right? Like if they did like the keys kind of idea where you get like maybe login gives you like 3 keys or something, and you use your 3 keys and your 8 energy on B10 and it instantly gives you 3 things. I think that's fine.
Oh, wait, that's totally different though. So not
Yeah,
just 3
but
keys
that's-
to do
that's
3
not
auto
auto-farming.
runs, but 3 keys to have instant quick play is what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
think
difference.
quick play is better than auto farm
Interesting.
because
Okay.
it's like a limited number, and
Okay.
it still helps people who like, oh, I can't, pay attention to my phone energy cap or whatever. Like you can burn it really quickly, use the key, and then you're fine, right?
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, we listen to everything. We hear it out, right? This is definitely something that's very black and white and very touchy for people. People are very passionate about this. Some people, they come to my channel, they're always like, it must have auto farm. I've seen it. I've played game XYZ. It's so good that we need it. And there's other people like, no, we don't need that. This is the reason why. This and that, blah, blah, blah. So it's very black and white. Lots of opinions on this. You were going to say something, Finn Games? What are your thoughts?
I'm on neither side here, but I do think a con that you would potentially come across would be some kind of paid farming system. Like when I played World of Warcraft, I can't go around and collect the ore and fish for like 6 hours, but I could pay someone to do that. And I also have to agree with DJ at some point. It would come down to pay to win, right? Let's say I can stay up and play Summoner's War and I burn 500 crystals on refreshing. But if I was able to refresh around the clock for 24 hours, I might, have to refresh 1,000 crystals. And how much of us can afford 1,000 crystals per day on a free-to-play account, So I think the gap between those who have the crystals or pay to win or pay to play players, they would be able to farm consistently a lot more because their amount of crystals would never really falter. Whereas if you can only barely make enough to get by, which I think I do as a player who spends a little bit but not a lot, but I do have to buy crystals every so often, right? Otherwise, there's no way you can even refresh to play.
Fair enough. Fair point. Yeah, I agree. I think also when you're playing the game, and even though you have to click, replay, I guess there's a sense of achievement, right, that you might lose if there's auto farming, right? Because like you're there, you actually did it. Like I did this many runs, right? I had to do this many runs to get the runes that I got and the grinds I got. I played the game, right, and I didn't just skip past it. Right? Everybody wants, as human beings, we always want things as easily as possible. We always try to make life and everything that we do as easy as possible, as quick as possible. So, I mean, I get the want and the need for auto farm, right? What do you think, Lucky? Do you think it's something that is needed in Summoner's War? And maybe some pros and cons from your view?
So playing a bit of Raid, for example, I like the way they've got it set up in their game. So they've got, for the guys that haven't played it yet, they've got a set amount of auto runs. So you can either get 30 free a day, or you can, if you buy a raid pass, I think you get 100 a day. And you can essentially use it anywhere in the game. You can use 100 runs on scenario. You can break it up. It doesn't have to be 100 straight. You can do like 10 in scenario, 30 in dungeons, and whatever areas of the game, right? So I like the way they approached it, and that was one of my first exposures to auto farming. Me personally, I'm not a fan of auto farming, but I'd be more of a fan of multiple dungeon runs. So something that allows me to go, I want to do 3 dungeon runs back to back, or like 5 dungeon runs back to back. So I don't have to look at my phone every 20 or 30 seconds. I only have to look at it every 3 minutes. That's the approach I would rather see. So I'm still kind of engaged in seeing how my runs go, and not so far apart. Because, like, for example, when I was playing Raid, all I was doing was I'll load up my computer, load up PC client, jump into the dungeon and go 100 runs of this dungeon and refill my energy automatically when I was running out. And I'd walk away from my computer, come back 2 hours later, and the dungeon runs would all be done. I'd be able to check all my loot and whatever. You can kind of set parameters to sell loot for you automatically. And it kind of kept me really disengaged from the game. So for me, I'd like to try find that medium of keeping my engagement, keeping me interested, keeping me actually enjoying and valuing the drops I get, or when I do get a valuable drop, and be like, oh, I actually just farmed this room. This is awesome. Sweet.
Right.
Take a screenshot, send it to my friends, or, you know, but if it's something that you can just let run overnight, it loses that value in each of those runs, and you're not going to be able to kind of enjoy what you get from your farming. Like, I'd still like to have that enjoyment factor, without completely just going, okay, I'm going to run my dungeons all the time while I sleep. And again, what you guys raised was really valuable around the sense that, like, if I can't afford to top up my crystals, I'm always going to be sitting at no crystals. Right. Whereas other people that can afford to top up crystals will keep farming over and over and over. And it does create that, it creates the complete opposite impact that I'm trying to, what I'd like to see, which is it'll open up, it'll make the gap a bit bigger between free to play and pay to win. I like to still see that gap get closed to a certain extent.
Right, that's true. I agree. I think a lot of times, people like think it's like, if you want this auto farming or this system to be in play to make it easier, are you really even playing the game anymore? Like what's the point sometimes, right? When you get to that extent. I mean, I play Raid quite a bit as well, and I've experienced the same thing, right? You'll do like 100 runs, and then later on, you kind of look through your gear, and you don't get that sense of, you know, you're really playing the game anymore, right? Over time. So I kind of agree with that aspect. I kind of do agree with that aspect. What about you, Ferry? What's your thoughts on this?
I guess obviously there's pro and cons for it, but I guess looking from the marketing side, right? Like if you have people that are always invested in, they have like an inbuilt timer in their head that's like, oh, 30 seconds, I need to check my phone, you know, Summer's over, bro. My run's done.
Yeah.
I got mana. Ah, shoot.
Yeah.
But, you know, just like keeping that mentality refresh, it's good for a company in the long base, right?
It's true.
It keeps those players engaged. It keeps them feeling like there's worth to them doing this over and over and over nonstop consistently, right?
It's true.
I feel like if Autorun were to put in opportunities of like those like hardcore players will sort of like obviously leave the game, but there'll be more pay to win options, which will widen that gap, and I really don't want that, if I'm being truthfully honest.
Right. Are people really playing the game? Coming back to it, right? Are they really actually playing the game? If that's gonna happen. So let's pretend like Auto Farm does happen, right? And does get released. So Lucky was talking about, you know, how Raid Shadow Legends has like a set amount that you can do per day, or like what other people said was a set amount that you could run, right? Both of them are definitely limited, right? Limited in the sense where one is limited by how many runs you get of auto farming in a day. The other one is going to be limited by like how many runs you can do in a set. So you still have to click, but you will have a set, right? Like 5 runs, and then you have to come back, right, to it. So it's not clicking it as often, which is kind of better because one is infinite and it's based upon, you know, you still playing it, and one is like, you know, 100 runs. I could just, you know, leave it overnight then when I go to sleep at a good time, right? What's the pros and cons, and which side would you rather see? If let's say auto runs is going to be happening, right?
I think I'll go with the 5 auto runs, and not the tickets, because like you said, I think there is some kind of engagement that needs to be done. You know, when I play, I want to see what I get, and if I were to save my 50 or 20 or whatever, I would stock up over a day and then play it, and then wake up in the morning. I might not even look at it. I might just whatever. Yeah. I gotta go get ready for work or something. So I think it does take away from that sense of accomplishment. Like he said, you know, when I get that rune, I'm the first one. I'm posting it on Discord. I'm like, yo, check out this rune. It took me, you know, 100 runs today, but I got this bio rune with innate stat, and it's great. And then you roll it in, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Good. What do you think, DJ? Between those, or did you have like an option C that you thought might even be better? Right. We're just so we can put ourselves in both perspectives, right? That, you know, no auto runs, and of course, you know, is auto runs if it does occur, right? What's like the best?
I'd rather have the like you can do a couple in a row.
Okay.
I think that's better, and I think like the engagement in the game is a big aspect too. Like everybody kind of said, like when you're starting the game, it's like 2-minute run, right? And then as you get better, you like see the number go down. Like that's an exciting part of the game, and you like ruin that with auto farming.
True. People might not want to improve their runs if they're doing like, let's say, 2-minute runs. They might be okay with that because they can auto farm all day, right? To an extremity, right? They can just auto farm all day. True. How about you, Lucky, between those?
I would go down the multiple runs for sure. I'm not really a fan of letting it run overnight because, just as I said before, it loses the engagement, and I don't want to lose the engagement from the game because once you start losing engagement, you start losing interest. And there's been a lot of comments in chat around what's it called, spamming replay every run versus doing it every 5 runs. It's more so like right now when farming, I don't know if I'm the only one, this happens to me sometimes where like in the back of my mind it's always like, oh, is my run finished? And I'll look at my device and it'll be done. I'll be like, all right, replay. And then I'll go ahead and start working or doing something else, and then in the back of my mind, has my run finished? Rather than just being able to let it run and go, okay, I don't have to look at it, you know, for 3 minutes rather than 30 seconds. It's still engaging enough to check, but I feel like right now the game is too engaging. It's requiring too much of your attention, and I'm not trying to completely remove the attention. I'm trying to find a healthier amount of attention to give the game. We already have RTA, which requires your full attention, like your full attention if you're trying to play it properly, if you're not an autoer. Or right now, looking at your phone every 30 seconds for a dungeon, again, requires all your attention. You got Guild Wars that requires all your attention. You got Siege that may require all your attention. There's a lot of things in the game that requires a lot of attention. What I'm trying to find is making it a little bit more healthy. I'm trying to find the gap of, instead of being 30 seconds where it is right now, because everyone's been able to create really fast teams, is trying to find the healthy balance of bringing it maybe to 2 or 3 minutes, which is where like farming, if you go back years ago, people were like really happy of hitting like 1 minute times, and 1 minute times was still fine, right? But I feel like now that we're hitting 30 seconds, it's like always checking my device. And I don't think that's a healthy part of it. I think if PvP requires active attention, I feel like PvE should be a little bit less of a burden. So I'm not saying completely make it where you're not engaged, but make it a little bit less engaging so it's a little bit healthier for you to do other things. And that's my opinion on it. I know a lot of people may not agree, but I'd rather just keep it a bit more healthy. Mental health is very important, especially with everything going on in the world right now. And I think still having some form of attention is good, but having too much focus on it kind of takes it away from being able to focus on other things.
Yeah, there's definitely I think we all came to agreement. There is a definite valuable aspect for a game, not even just Comptos, but any specific game or any specific business out there, to keep viewer and player engagement, right? It's an important factor, whether you like it or not. Obviously us, we're like, garbage, right? I don't want to look every 30 seconds, right? Garbage, but that's what they want from us, right? And that's what a lot of companies and businesses you want. So I could see why that's valuable to them, right? Fairy, did you get to answer yet? I don't know if you had to answer that between those two. Yeah, which you
just along the lines of everyone else, the multiple. Yeah.
Okay. So the multiple runs. So if Kanto is, if you're listening, if you come out with auto runs, then looks like multiple runs seems, for what the people here and people in chat kind of come to agreement that it could be beneficial to have it not infinite, but make it less of a burden for people as they're farming. Now, I do want to throw this out there that there comes the saying that I say every single time people ask about auto runs and big changes in the game. Why change what's not broken, right? That's the mentality I think Comptos is kind of scared of as well, right? They have a game that's been going on for X amount of years. They have a game that is very, very successful, has an amazing community, one of the best communities out there, right? I know that I know E7. Now I know that, you know, Fate Grand Order, those are also, you know, big mobile gacha collectors, right? They're big. You know, Brave, Exvius, all those games. But do they have the community and events and IRL events that Summoners War have? They don't, right? So Summoners War has a very good game and a very good community. Do they want to risk their whole company and business off of an update that is not really that needed, right? Like obviously we can say we need it, right? Obviously because we're playing every day, but we're used to it. We've been playing this way, right? I think that's why they're going to be a little bit more hesitant on doing auto runs or adding something of this nature in, because it's a big change, right? We don't think it's very big, but for them, right, they potentially see things in a different light, and it can be very big for them, and it could change everything. And what is their benefit, right? Is their benefit that great, right? In any decision, always make a decision on, you know, your pros and your cons and your resources, how much you got to give and how much you're going to get right out of it. So that's something that they're going to have to weigh out. The last thing I want to add in is that they have other games in the past that have failed, that have had auto runs. Okay, now the failure of a lot of those games did not come from the auto run. I'm fairly confident it did not come from the auto run, but they have had games in the past that are, you know, didn't do as well. Let's just say that they didn't do as well, and they had auto runs. So that's definitely going to be something in the back of your head that is, you know, or their heads that they're going to be thinking about when they decide to actually implement it. So it doesn't affect it. It may not affect it, but it's something for them to consider for sure. That has happened in the past. Yeah.
You know what I'd like to see them try would be something like what they did with the double drops. Maybe give out like tokens, an hour token of, hey, you can do 5 by dungeon runs, at least to like get some sort of community feedback or see what people's reception was to it. Like, remember how they did the double dungeon drops? Like, so you get giants, double drops, and all that sort of stuff. Like, imagine just having an hour to get a taste of it and then be able to give an honest feedback on it. What do you reckon about that if they let us have a taste of it?
No, I don't think they could. Like, with that thing, if they're gonna do a taste of it, they're testing it to fully implement it. I feel like that's a conscientious decision that they're gonna make the auto run happen. So that's kind of scary, you know. But if they make that decision, yeah, I think they should test it first, right? However they do it, if they make the decision to do it. Yeah. Yo, Jeff, thanks for the host. Hope you guys had a good time over there. Welcome everybody from Jeff's stream. We're talking about auto runs. Did you have something to add, Fin Games or DJ, on that?
You know, from a marketing standpoint, you know, if I were to take Com2U's business side, I want the player base looking at their phone every 30 seconds. It's really unhealthy, like, you know, Lucky says. But if you think about it, I eat out often, and I'm always out, and I'm always trying to farm. And if I'm looking at my phone every 30 seconds, someone else is going to notice that I'm looking at my phone, and they're going to go, hey, what are you doing? And there you go. Every time, that's a free advertisement for somebody else picking up and playing the game, right? Like, let's say I'm teaching at school, and I would never do this. never farm in the middle of the school day, right? But I mean, if I did, they'd go, what is he doing, right? Like, I want to know why he is so intent on checking his phone every 30 seconds, you know, especially since I have mine on fully silent. It doesn't vibrate or anything. You know, like Lucky says, I have that ingrained memory. It's like 30 seconds has passed. I got to check my run. Got to restart, press replay, right? So I think, like you said, why would Com2Us take away that major marketing tool, you know? And I think we do have to remember that as players of the game, Com2Us does have to make money. And they have a great system of advertising by us playing the game so often. If we were on a auto 50 battle, I might never pick up my phone for the rest of dinner, and, you know, you had no idea that I was farming. And then I would definitely farm as a teacher.
Yeah, true. I think that's this is a very good perspective to put it. I never thought about it. That reminds me of like how they say Starbucks, they write people's names incorrectly just so that, you know, people post it and they get free advertisement. That's true, right? I mean, it is advertisement. I don't know how many times I've been out and people are like, what the hell are you doing on your phone? Or people that know that you're playing a mobile game, hey, what game are you playing? Right? Yeah. So that's true. That's true. That's a form of strategy. I don't know. Think about how many people have started playing the game because of that.
Right.
Actually, a lot. I mean, maybe not nowadays, but, you know, when the game was out, a lot of people probably started playing because of that, actually. Come to think of it, right? What about you, DJ? You have something to add in?
I think where you can dungeon, like auto farm is a big deal too.
Okay.
Like if you can do it in B10 versus like Rift Beast, like I think there's a pretty big difference there. So I don't know. I think it depends how they do it if they do decide to do it.
Right. Like an easy place that we know would be safe to have the auto farm would be the dimensional hole because it's limited, right? When something's limited, if it's auto farm, then hey, screw it. The guy only has X amount anyways, right? So that comes down to the more of the limited aspects, so that'd be good. But if they put it into the game, people are gonna riot and ask for it in every other aspect of the game or more aspects. But that's true. Different aspects of the game can be very important on where they would potentially release it, right? They could keep it to more simple areas if they actually released it. That's true. Very true.
Like scenario, I don't think there's a problem with auto run scenario.
Yeah.
It helps early game players.
Right.
But like auto run B10, I don't like.
Yeah, true. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, I think auto run leveling to 50 would be fine in scenario. Like Faimon Hell, max it, and you go until you're max level. If that's how you want to use your energy, it really wouldn't affect the end game player, but it would close the gap for the early game player.
Right.
Then they don't have to worry about getting to 50, although I think it takes away from that success of, I made my first 6-star. I worked really hard on it.
I see. So if you had to make a definitive vote, what would you vote for? Auto runs, yes, or auto runs, no? I'm actually reconsidering. I will say right now, before all this kind of discussion today and prior to this, I was heavily leaning towards no. Right? Talking a little bit more today has made me slightly maybe more on yes, but still leaning more towards a no because of the simple fact of why change what's not broken. But if there is a yes, I like the yes adding the auto runs of like maybe 5 runs or whatnot because of what we discussed, the health of players, right? Being able to still clicking replay, so they still get that marketing or whatnot that we discussed as well, but not as often. Could be kind of nice, right? And limiting it to being awake, because obviously you can't do it when you're sleeping, right? I mean, unless somebody's built a machine that has clicked auto farm. But if you have the machine, it's already clicking auto farm right now, right? Some kind of actual machine to do it. So it would make no difference if it was a 5-run auto farm. But what side are you leaning more towards? Yes or no, as of today? I mean, things can change, right? That's not your answer. Answer just what you feel today. Could start with Fairy. What's your thoughts?
I guess still no, but a little bit more understanding of if it were to happen.
How about you, Lucky?
Look, to be honest, I'm probably still on the fence, but if I was to pick, it'd be multiple dungeon runs. But that would be the only form of auto farming I would accept in the game.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. How about you, Finn Games?
I'd say yes, but maximum 5 runs. Mathematically, that means if someone is farming giants at 2 minutes, that's pressing the button once every 10 minutes, but if you're farming it at 30 seconds, it's pressing it at every 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'm okay with that. I think that's a healthy time, especially for an end game player. You've gotten your dungeon to 30 seconds. Yeah, be rewarded. You get to click your button now every 2 minutes and 30 seconds instead of every 10 minutes. But any more than 5 for the early game player, that, like I said, you take away from that free advertisement from Comtos, right? And I don't think they want to do that. Don't break it if it's not, or don't fix it if it's not broken,
Yeah, right when you said that, I actually thought about something, and I guess, when you're doing the auto farmings in a lot of games, there's actually like a 5 to 10 second gap between the run restarting again. So if you're a player that, you want to still manual and press it, you still can, right? Nothing saying you cannot. So you could actually choose to not auto farm and do your runs, 30 seconds to a minute and keep pressing it constantly without having, that 5-10 second gap in between if you really want to maximize your running. So something to think about as well, right? That's a factor. What about you, DJ? Are you still on the fence, or?
I don't like auto farming.
You don't like it, okay.
But I think there's some avenues that would be okay.
Okay. So it's understandable that if they do decide that, they make the decision that they want to go down the route, it looks like there are some very, very viable options and approaches that they can potentially take to release it, right? Who knows? Maybe if they do the math and they do all the throw it on the chalkboard and they figure out that, hey, it's better for their game to have auto farming, then so be it. Yeah, I'm curious to see what they have to say about it. Maybe this is the massive update, which I highly doubt. I hope that's not. I really hope that's not the massive update, man. That's underwhelming. Even though some people will be happy, I don't think it's massive. Right. All right, we got a little bit of time left here. I'm gonna open up to open discussion. If you guys have ever wanted to, bring something up and ask, right? We can spend 5-10 minutes here, kind of discuss some random things that you guys want to bring up about Summoners War, about streaming, about whatever it is. Yeah, feel free.
Oh, is anybody playing with the String Masters still?
No, I've seen people do the water one, and then that's it. I haven't seen people mess around with them at all. Why?
I still like the fire one. I've been using the fire one.
Expose
What
secrets.
content?
I do Ileana, Fire String, Katarina.
Okay, how about players without Ileana, which is 99% population?
It's a 4-star. I mean, I have 3 of them. Doesn't everybody have one?
No, I have 3 irises. Do you have an iris? Yeah,
Not
that's
yet.
what I thought. That's what I thought.
Toxic.
But I think I like the fire one still.
What does it do? Like, give me the gist of like the what it does. I don't even remember.
Because
what it is.
she boosts attack bar and gives attack buff. So I use her as like a extra bestet.
Okay, so it's like it's an additional siege unit then for.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm using it for.
Okay, got it. Like
But
your
it
budget one.
Like I like the heal too. Like the heal is pretty nice, especially with Ileana shield. Like you stay alive.
Okay, I see. Have you guys been messing around with gargoyles? I haven't built any, and I have no knowledge. But I heard some of them are kind of good again. Like the wind one and stuff is kind of okay.
The wind one
Like-
is pretty good.
Like tell me, like
The
inform
win
me.
one.
I'm slacking. I don't know. Tell me about it. I know nothing. Tell me like I know nothing because I don't know anything about it. I haven't looked into it.
It's like
So-
a defensive Jolton that provokes.
Huh.
So it like reflects its defense based damage
Uh-huh.
and it provokes you.
And every time it gets hit, it reduces the cooltime on the second skill, so you can almost infinite provoke.
What's the cooldown on S2?
It's usually 3 turn, I think, when max skilled.
It's 3.
But
Okay.
every time he gets hit, it reduced the cooldown by 1.
So you just have to hit 2 things with the provoke and you're good.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
And then you have it again then.
Yeah.
Interesting. What were you gonna say?
Yeah,
Fabian?
I was using it in Special League,
Uh-huh.
and it's as long as you taunt 2 people and they hit you, you will always have it up, and you can continually spam taunt. And I had it on defense, crit damage, defense, and it's fine. It was working great. In fact, I won the Summoners War meetup because of the Wind Gargoyle, the first one they had online.
Oh, really?
I brought it, and they had no idea what it was, and I won the tournament.
Really? How is
Yeah.
the reflect damage or the actual damage from the is the second skill provoke? Does it do damage? It's a hit, right?
It's a hit and provoke, and the reflect is 1-to-1 with your defense.
And that's
Oh.
a
The total
passive, I
defense.
believe. Yeah.
That's a passive,
Oh,
correct?
so that's not bad then. That's some good damage then.
And it has a self heal too, I think, when you use the skill too. It's a very small one, like 10%, but it's something to take into account that you are healing every time you skill too.
Right. And how much reduced damage do you take when you're in the stone form? Because you turn into the stone form, right? Or no? After you use S2.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to look.
But there's a damage reduction, right? It makes you like a lot tankier or some crap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Wind gargoyle. Interesting. Alright, I'll build my own. I mean, I have a ton. Like, let's be real. A lot of people watching probably got a ton of gargoyles as well, right? I mean, we all got it. Every time you summon it, you think it's a goddamn chimera, but it's not. And so yeah, I'll definitely try out the Wind gargoyle. Any other units or anything else you guys want to talk about? Fairy, anything interesting for you? I know you've been doing some RTAs here. Yeah, C3 right now, right? Pushing
Yeah.
up still? Yeah? How's that going?
Not good. I'm running into a Molly wall apparently.
Molly Wall.
Yeah.
I've been hearing about Molly being a lot more OP now. Is there that many people drafting it? Is that actual thing? Like, it's more common now?
Yes.
It's a lot more common. It's really paired up well with Vigor, from what I've been seeing. And then maybe like a Bruiser Monkey King, like a Xingzhe.
Tons of anti crit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it works really strong against those no damage comps. So like the Chiwu, Gani, Hathor, sort of base team.
I see.
And yeah, it shreds kind of through those because the longer the fight goes on, it's just always healing a huge amount every single time.
True. 25%, right?
32.5 on maxed.
32.5? Wait, I thought it was 25% max.
Well, you get skill ups.
Wait,
Yes,
that's
you are.
ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, that and the anti-crit buff from Vigor, I mean, you're not critting. And like you're saying, I guess if you have a good draft where you have the Wind Monkey King, who's your damage dealer, that thing barely takes damage to begin with. So, pretty hard to kill. Yeah, pretty hard to kill. Interesting. I mean, I was seeing, we did some Special League, and I definitely saw it there. It was kind of toxic, but I was curious to see how the actual implication would be with other Nat 5s in regular RTA setting. It seems like some people are drafting and using it then. So
Yeah.
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
What, Vile Rev? Or what are they running it on?
Usually something like that. Violent
Yeah.
Revenge, Violent
Tanky.
Nemesis.
Violet
Tanky, high
Brown.
res.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen more.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anything
Some
else?
of them I think hit really hard too, so they might, I don't know, have like crit or something.
You like think people throwing their crit damage sets in there? Probably not,
I
right?
don't know,
Just
there's
crit.
like
I don't
8,
think so.
9k first skill.
Dang, I mean, no elemental disadvantage. I guess.
It's HP based damage dealing too, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I guess when you pair it with a Vigor and you set up a defense break, I guess she just hurts then when she crits.
Yeah, she get hurt.
Interesting. HP based too, and you're already really pretty tanky. Interesting. Okay. All right. Any other units? I guess we're talking about RTAs here. Any other units that you guys have been seeing a little bit more? Yeah. How's the Beast Riders? Actually, garbage, or are they kind of like settled into like a mediocre kind of area? No.
I think they're pretty bad, except the wind one.
Hmm.
I think Barbara's still good. I think they're finally at where they should be. Before they were just way too strong. I think they're okay.
I don't know.
But,
The only people I
yeah.
see successful with Barbara are people with like Gianna, Ragdoll, and it doesn't matter what they pick anyway.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, I haven't gotten to do RTAs this season yet. I'm waiting for my new 2As because they should get released, right? So maybe it's gonna get released with this massive update, but new 2As because I always do like 5 2As with my placements. So I've been waiting, and so I haven't got a feel for them yet. But do you think that because we got the feel for what the Beast Riders really were, it feels more underwhelming right now? Or are they just actually that bad? You know, it's hard for me to put my mind into it in that perspective, right? Like, what if the Beast Riders just came like this? You know, like, I think
wouldn't have wasted my Devilmon.
Oh, true. You probably might not have Devilmon it. True.
I still think they're really. I still, because I've got all 3 and I use all 3 quite regularly in like not just RTA but in Siege, for example, and even in Labyrinth to auto stuff. It's actually still good on offense, like really, really strong on offense.
Okay, like the Beast Riders on defense are pretty bad now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
They
you
just
know
instantly
you know why they're good on defense, right, Lucky? Those Savannah. You're talking about the Clara Yen.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the Clara Galleon Savannah, right?
Yeah.
You know why that one's so
Now
good?
That one I can just press
Because
auto now.
Because that one is the one that they can just go 5 towers, 5 towers, 5 towers, 5 towers, 5 towers, and you have troubles once you have not as many answers, and people have a difficulty with the answers towards those. So that's why it's strong.
That
But
is
I
true,
mean, it
yeah.
still makes it viable. Yeah.
You just
What's-
one-shot her with Chris.
Okay, how many Chris you got? How many lineups? If you could you beat
4?
10 of
I
them?
have 4 Chris.
You built all
And
the
they're all
Chris.
farmable. No, you just move the runes to the next one and just kill it over and over again.
Mr. Pre over here. 500k. All right. If you guys see DJ beating your defense with Savannah, just know he spent 500k doing so. Or 450.
Or you just Lucian them
Whatever it is.
over and over and over again
Yeah,
as well.
you can Lucian
Yeah.
too.
You can actually Lucian
True.
them. Yeah.
True. I mean, Leo, right? I mean, I use Leo definitely. You can use Leo with almost anything in your mind that you want because the damage reduction is so big and the speed gap is a lot slower now, so you can use a lot slower units. Yeah, that's true. Any other
I really
units?
like Chris though. Chris is pretty fun. She does a lot of damage.
Yeah, tell me about that. What does that do again? If it doesn't stun, it does more damage or something?
Yeah, her third skill, if it doesn't land a stun, she gets to go again. And then you can use the second skill, which is like Squall.
It doesn't stun. So even with no will, if they resist it, you get another turn because they resist it.
So you just hit the thing with Will with third skill, and then you Squall something. So you can hit like the Beast Rider, and then it'll dismount and still have the Will, and then you just kill it.
Hey, I think that's how we can
That's
fix a
crazy.
lot of units now. All right, start naming units that miss their skills often, like Okeanos. Right, we got it. If it misses, get additional turn. I got it. We fixed it. Just give them the Chris treatment, as we call it. Yeah. If you miss your skill, you get additional turn. Pog. Sierra. Okay, well, you already get additional turn.
That's
It's
not
still
it.
carnage.
She gets
You can just use a bomb again if you don't land the bomb. You just keep cycling second till you drop the bomb.
So you just
Infinite
keep
dots,
going
let's go.
until you get the bomb. That's some
But then you can't
bullshit.
put a bomb because they've got 10 dots. Imagine.
So people will root their Sierras with 0 accuracy to land 10 dots. Imagine that RTA gameplay right there, man. What would that be like? SWC gameplay right there. Just Sierra just putting 10 bombs, just missing every single one.
Until the timer goes, and then just one-shot them with the rest of your team.
Anything else? Yeah, I did hear about the light archer though. Yeah, that thing was like a fun high damage unit, actually.
So I tried to play around with the water lizard man in Siege.
Mistakes were made. I mean, how
probably
were the
not with me
results?
because it's getting to the busy end of Siege, right? So like it's last month, and a lot of guilds are either throwing up Beast Riders or like Odins. So I wanted to build more Odin counters, and I only got one Camilla, so I was like, all right, well let's try the water lizard man. He's a budget Camilla essentially. He takes half the damage from wind units. He has an armor break on first, which is not reliable, but he's just there as a damage soak if Rena doesn't do her job well enough. So
Wait,
he's actually not
better?
too bad.
Isn't that better than a Camilla? Because Camilla has a like except for the actual skills and base stats, doesn't Camilla have a set like thing that has to happen, which is you need to crit to reduce the damage by half, and the Wind Lizard Man decreases by 50% guaranteed.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, that skill is actually technically better than Camilla's then. Besides the other aspect of healing, because he doesn't heal.
Well, most of the time, Camilla won't die if she gets non-crit ignore defense from an Odin anyway. Like, it's going to do about the same amount of damage, if anything. So,
true.
Yeah, he's been okay. He's worked. It's kind of a little fun toy. He armor breaks rarely. He's got a 25% chance to armor breaks. When he does land an armor break, it's pretty fun. But, yeah, he's someone that I've been trying to play around with. And it's been pretty successful so far against Odins. It's kind of just a damage soaker.
And hey, you got that thing built. You never know 2A, man. I mean, eventually, 20, 30, right? 10 years from now, they got to hit the Lizard Man sometime, right? Whatever that is.
True. That is exactly true, yeah. I'm kind of hoping... So, I know you touched base... You were talking about 2As before. I'm kind of hoping they bring out an immunity 2A unit. Because right now, there's no like AoE immunity.
Oh, yeah.
And I've actually 2A'd every unit. So, I want to kind of try do 2A RTA only. But I don't have I don't have AoE immunity, so I'm like, I can't really do this because I'm gonna be so open to every other comp.
Yeah. I
so
would like
2A.
immunity. Yeah.
Lulu.
So I'm kind of hoping for a Howl 2A, like the 2A Lulu.
If they follow the trend, it should be a Illunia that they add the next one to, and a Howl would fit that aesthetic.
Yeah. They would be really strong though.
Yeah.
Like, people
AoE immunity is really good. AoE immunity is always really good. Yeah. As long as the unit's also not squishy and has some kind of utility, that can be good. I mean, that's how Fran came about, right? And now Fran is usually like, Fran is literally like considered the support god, like honestly, and all of us have it. Everybody has it. So she's literally number one. There's nothing you can say. That thing is literally number one. Absolutely amazing. And her sister, the Elucia, is pretty awesome as well, to be honest. So you can see how support type healer units can be very, very impactful. So Howls, yeah, whenever they hit Howls, they'll get a chance. Because I don't think I've ever used the Howl. Right, except I know some people tried to use Lulu instead of Vermos before, and that route was a different route to not do Vermos. So other than that,
Molong meta, that was a big thing.
What
Well, they would use Lulu to tank the Molong when there was Molongs everywhere on defense. Like Lulu and then 2 wind things to beat the Molong, whatever.
Oh, I see. Interesting. I see. What about some other units though? Do you think they'll get a buff? Like maybe like somebody said in chat, Island, the Dark Elven Ranger. Because these are families that most likely are not going to get 2As. Right? Just like Gildong, that family of Dongers. Because they have 4-star counterparts, they're never going to get 2As. Any of them you want to see in better? I would really love to see Island get better. Yeah, because think about it. The archers, the Elven archers are garbage. Right? We only ever used the fire one for Necro a long time ago. Right? It's a crit rate buffer and for Necro. And then they all disappeared. And then now we have a 4-star in there, sitting there that is, you know, it's like, he's literally sitting there going, so you're saying I don't even have a chance. You know what I mean? There's no 2A for him. So I think he deserves some love. I definitely think he deserves some love.
I have one, so yeah, I wouldn't mind a buff.
Yeah, some kind of Artemil treatment, man. That thing revenges, right? Give us some kind of Artemil treatment. That's all we need, really. Yeah.
Yeah, just give strip.
Give it a strip on the passive.
That's all you need. Strip.
Counterattack and defend its allies with a strip. Okay, that'd be cool. I mean, something feasible for Guild Wars Guild Siege, right? Something fun. Be nice.
Doesn't that just make him strong, almost as strong as Artemil then? If you put him in
He just has
defense,
worse
'cause he
base
multi-hits?
Yeah, worst base stats. And what's his condition to revenge? Is it when anybody's hit? I think there's a certain condition though. Isn't there?
Not him hit, right?
I think allies.
If you
right?
don't hit him, then it revenges.
Artemil is everybody, right? Then he revenges.
Artemil is crit.
Oh yeah, crit.
Anybody you crit, he revenges.
Supportive fire. Where is it? Right here. Lays down supportive fire for allies under attack 3 times. Supportive fire deals damage based on your attack power to enemies that attack your allies. Okay. Wait, what does it mean? Lays down supportive fire for allies under attack 3 times. I think that line just means that it just revenges 3 times before its turn again then. Right? I'm not sure what that means.
The first skill just hits 3 times.
Yeah, it just hits 3 times.
Oh,
I don't know, it's just weird
that's
wording.
weird why they worded it like that. Under attack 3 times. Interesting.
Hey, that's going to be the buff. They're going to change the wording, and then that's it. We just changed the wording. Congratulations.
I mean, yeah, they could actually make this unit a very viable unit. Yeah, if they made it similar to Artemil, which wouldn't be too bad. I mean, it already has bad base stats, right? What if they did like some kind of like stacking attack? Artemil's stacking defense, right? This thing's stacking attack, so kind of something you have to worry about.
Well, that'd be scary.
That could be scary. With the strip potential is a scary part actually.
Better in Taurus, actually.
I mean, difference is you can just tunnel him though. That's the major difference. Because it only counters attacks when you hit one of his teammates.
True. And if you're just giving him more attack, then what's the point? You're gonna just kill him first anyways, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
It would make him fun though. But at least, I mean, I think almost every unit should be at least usable, man. Like, there are units in this game that are literally sitting there doing nothing, right? We talked about Howls, Elven Rangers. They're sitting there doing nothing. Like, give them something to do, right? Make them more viable. I mean, they've tried to buff the Elven Rangers and other units in the past as well. But you gotta try your best to make everything usable. Yeah, at least as a fun toy. If we build it as a fun toy, and it can't even do the job like okay, like, God, that's so bad, you know? That's just so
What's
bad.
his name? Hanra?
What about
Which
that
one?
was a disappointment. Dark Beast Hunter.
Oh yeah, I built him, dude. That thing was garbage, dude. The damage was underwhelming. Like, at least make it so the damage I can nuke something, right? Because then I can use anything in that slot. It's not that amazing, right? He's not that special. What are you gonna say, Lucky?
I was gonna say, what about if this major update was a new area, which was like you have to use specific units to clear an area, like to clear a stage. So it said you had to incorporate a lizard man in your team, or you have to incorporate a bear man in your team, or a certain star limit to clear this stage, and so on. Like certain limitations to be able to do those stages.
I like that.
To mix it up
I like
a little
that.
bit.
That's something that's currently in the game that I'm playing, Exos Heroes. Right? They require you to have certain units to meet the requirement to do the dungeon. Right? Some of the other ones are that you can fill in, but there are certain requirements that need to be met. Like certain elements or certain types of families that need to be incorporated for it to work. So I like that idea. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I'd be okay with it.
That might be your TOA hell, right? Potentially.
Yeah. Go 20 star. It could be a 20 star and have 2 A's and have runes. Then it'd be extremely hard.
Okay. All right. Solid podcast today, guys. Very, very solid podcast. I think we went over a lot of awesome things. Yeah, super excited to see more about this massive update that we should be hearing and should be happening hopefully soon. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys are watching this from YouTube, we're going to put the links to all their Twitch streams. Everybody streams here, right? A lot of people are streaming throughout the entirety of the week, especially because, you know, coronavirus. So make sure you guys check them out in your free time. And yeah, leave your comments down below. Yeah, looking forward to hearing your thoughts. I'm sure we got some spicy topics today. What do you want to see from the update? You know, auto runs, right? Give me your type it down there in the comment section, because I swear Comtuous watches these podcasts, but also I believe they read the comments down below, because they have told me before that they actually look what people type on Reddit. If they look what people type and talk about on Reddit, I'm sure they hopefully read the comments down below. So leave your suggestions down there, and hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next live streamer video. Peace out, YouTube. All right, guys, thank you guys for your time. Solid podcast.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks,
See you later. See you next time.
See you on the shift. Okay, I couldn't think of something smart to say. Bye.